Big Nation crew? This is your boy Biggs, and I am back again with another video. Hey, listen, man. Finally, I am ready to start on something that I've been talking about and we have been going over forever. We've been talking about me doing a cooking review, our cooking show, and I don't know, like I've tried a couple times and just didn't feel comfortable, just the logistics didn't work out. I didn't know exactly what format I want to do, but I've been watching some videos and I think I'm ready to give it a shot. So here we are. This is take one. Actually, this is take two because I've already done this intro like twice now, but I'm keeping this one. This is the start of our new cooking video. So you're now cooking with Biggs, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it or how it's going to go down. I don't have all the logistics figured out yet, but we're going to work it as I go, and we're going to get something, man. We're going to get something for you guys to vibe to. So just bear with me as I get everything and get it figured out, and we work it out to where we get it perfected, and then we're going to have something to vibe to, man. But here we are. If you're new, yo, welcome to the channel. This is One Cute Fat Boy, and I'm your boy Biggs, the One Cute Fat Boy. And if you're not new, then you already know what it is and what we do. You are the part of the crew. Yo, Big Nation, stand up, raise up, boom, big ups to yourselves, yo. I appreciate you guys so much. Please, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you know need to do to one up the channel. And here we go. Let's get started. All right, guys, so let's get into this. So this is what we're going to do. We've got our catfish here. We're going to do catfish, some fried. This is catfish from our local Publix. And so we're going to do southern fried catfish. You need peanut oil because only frying peanut oil has a very high viscosity, so it can stand up to high temperatures without burning quickly. We've got a white pepper, seasoned salt, onion, garlic powder, milk. Now, milk, typically a lot of people will talk about frying in buttermilk, but buttermilk is really used for like chicken and other meats to soak them in so that you can tenderize it and also gives it flavor. But for this purpose, you don't really necessarily have to have buttermilk. Just milk is just fine because we soak the catfish in it, a way to provide moisture as well as adding a little flavor, but mostly it's to kind of leach off any unwanted fishiness or anything from the fish, seeing that catfish is a bottom feeder, and they kind of be in the mud, and they're scavengers, so it just takes away any of that like unwanted gaminess or fishiness from the fish and makes it have a really nice, clean, really good flaky texture, and it comes out really good. So that's for that. We got an all-purpose flour. We got our cornmeal. Typically I use a pre-made and pre-seasoned fish fry and just add a little to it, but they are all out of that, go figure. So we're going to make our own batter today, in which it's a dry batter, or really a dry seasoning mix, but and not so much a batter, but we are going to soak our fish in milk for just a few minutes before we get started. Honey doesn't like things too spicy. Typically I put a little hot sauce and things in my milk when I'm soaking the fish, but she doesn't like things spicy, so we're going to do things good for her today, and we're going to leave out the hot sauce because I'm going to definitely use it later. But this is what we're working with, so let's get started. Alright guys, we're back again, and we are prepped and ready to go. And after just a few minutes soaking, we have our fish. So here we go, that is our catfish. Now that is milk with seasonings. It is seasoned very well. Don't worry about the seasoning actually being washed off. Most of it is going to get washed off in the wash in our marinade here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it, we're going to get it dry. We're going to transport it over here to where we have some paper towels waiting so that we can pat our fish dry, and then that way we have our batter here waiting. So once our fish is dry, you definitely want to pat it dry because that will allow the breading to adhere, and you won't have a bunch of breading falling off or breaking off in your oil when you're cooking your fish. And if I didn't mention, yes, we are frying this in peanut oil at a high temp. Not the healthiest meal in the world, but hey, it's going to taste good. All right, so here we go. We're going to get our fish out. And again, hands very clean. And drip. Now, if you really want to like have a really thick batter, you can beat up a little egg and put in this as well and make it an egg wash, and use that. But yeah, I don't want to go that route because we're not really deep frying this. We're just pan frying it. If you notice now, some of the fillets are kind of thick and large, and so with some of these, I went ahead and cut them in two. Some I left whole, but you'll see this is the whole fillet here. Right now, catfish is actually kind of expensive. It used to be pretty cheap. If you have a local fish market, I'd say definitely go to your local fish market or fishmonger, because typically catfish really should only be a couple dollars a pound. But of course, now with COVID and everything's a lot more expensive than typical. But I promise, if you go and get your fish from your local fish vendor or local fish house, it'll definitely be a lot cheaper than $8. This was basically, I think, $8.57 a pound. So I got like a pound and a half, not a little less than a pound and a half for like 11 bucks, which for catfish is very expensive. Catfish and tilapia typically should be your cheapest fish varieties. However, because of popularity now, everyone loves catfish, everyone loves tilapia, even though a lot of people say they're trash fish. They are quite pricey nowadays. I mean, that's just me saying that because I guess I'm a cheap bastard, so. Actually, I'm frugal. That's what I like to say. I'm frugal. Joy Amore calls me cheap. Wifey calls me cheap. But I'm frugal. Now, already, because of the seasoning and everything that you see we have down there in the bowl, now that you definitely want to discard, throw it away. Do not keep it. Typically for my batters, I will fry them, use them more than once. If I don't use them all at one time, I will put them in the refrigerator. And if they're not, if they're still sifty, they're still loose, there's nothing clumpy, or the bag isn't really wet or anything, I'll transfer it to a new bag and roll it up and put it in the freezer or refrigerator for the next time. But I typically only use it like once, twice if possible, and that's it. And then I discard it. And so we have here paper, so we're just going to go and take that and just press that down, and you're going to get that nice and as dry as possible. Like, it doesn't have to be completely dry. I mean, you're not going to be able to get it completely dry, but you definitely wanted to get it, all that excess moisture off of it, because the soak has already done its job. It's leached all that, any type of unwanted fishy taste, which I know it's so weird saying like, oh, you don't want your fish to taste fishy, but that's just, it is a thing. There's a desirable taste which fish should taste. It should take on the characteristics of the seasoning more so than anything. It should not have an off-putting fishy taste. If it does, then it might not be fresh, but this is pretty fresh. You can tell by the coloration. It's clear, it's bright, white. Looks really good. So now we're going to go ahead and add it to our breading. We're going to bread it and get it ready for the grease. We do have the grease on the fire and waiting and ready. We don't have the fire on yet, but we're going to go ahead and get it breaded first and then come back and we'll start frying. Alright guys, so we got our fish is battered, or not battered, but breaded. So this is our breading. So I did create a 1 gallon size, large gallon size Ziploc bag so you can shake. Typically Now, if you're old school, you know you do this in a paper bag. Brown paper bag, that's how you do it old school. But didn't have any brown paper bags, so I've used a Ziploc baggie, which we can recycle when we're done. I remember my mom, oh bless her heart, I miss my mom, but she used to actually wash these bags and reuse them. I hated that. But little did I know, back then she was doing her part to recycle. But no, I will not be doing that. I will be putting this in the trash too, in our recycle heap. But that's ready, good to go. And that's just about all our fish. Actually, these are all the thinner pieces. So I'm going to start with thinner because they'll all cook around the same period of time. And then I have some other thick pieces left. So these are some thicker pieces that I'm actually saving to cook those last, because they'll take a little bit longer and I want everything to kind of cook evenly. So we are waiting for our grease to heat and get to proper temperature, then which is high. I do see it smoking, so it's ready. We'll turn it down and we'll start frying our fish. And here we are as our fish is cooking away. Now, don't take your eyes off of it. It's really quick. This fish is not that thick, and it literally only takes but 2 or 3 minutes tops. About 1.5 minutes on each side until it's nice and brown. And we are ready to flip. Alright guys, and here we are, our final product. We've got grits. These are butter cheese grits, fixed by yours truly, honey. And we have our fish. Golden southern fried catfish. Thanks so much for joining Onecutefatboy. This has been our cooking show for today. And I am about to go and tear this up. Alright guys, love you guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'm out.